Hey guys, we should be starting in about 5 minutes or so. Start right at 2 a.m. Eastern. Should be a not too long one, maybe only like a 20 minutes, half hour, but I thought we'd bang it out and work together on this one. So bear with me. See you guys in about 5.
Into the ropes and off. A flying tackle by and a drop kick and Buddy Rogers. Oh, he caught him up there. That can was pretty hard, and look at Buddy going to work now. Oh.
Got the old one on there. That's still funny. Thought I had the season 3 one on there. Hey everybody, it's Durger time. It's like 2 a.m. in here on the East Coast. How you all doing today? See a few of you in the chat. So another quarantine, quarantine stream, if you will. Shouldn't be too much, but what I wanted to do is do some heavy looking at the NWA roster, and I want to look at our financial situation, and I figure it'd be a good opportunity to deal with you guys in the chat, figure out who we are going to possibly cut. I think we need to cut like 15, 20 people, so we're going to make some hard decisions. No root beer. We are not going to cut Tim Storm. We're not going to cut Nick Aldis. I know you want to, but it's the... So, one of the things that I like to do in here is when I'm taking a save, especially a real world save, there's a few like what I call like keystones of a company that I will not on my own actually cut. And generally the reason why is because you want to add that flavor of that company. And to me, no, not Josephus Root Beer, no. So there's 3 cornerstones in the company, is the way I see it. Josephus, Nick Aldis, and Tim Storm. Doesn't matter where they are on the roster. You don't have to be main eventers. They could be openers. They could be jobbers. They could be personalities. They could be managers. But generally, I feel like because they kind of make a piece of what the NWA is in real life, at least to me, I don't want to get rid of them. Like I said, where they are on the roster doesn't matter. We can move them around. I'm not saying like, oh, Nick Aldis needs to be the fucking top and best guy. Nah, it's not. That's not what I'm saying, right? I'm just saying that he needs to be in there somehow. If he leaves for some reason, obviously that's what's going to be, and we're not going to like sweat it. But for the most part, I want to maintain like a core keystone group. Personas on there. Dude, I hear about firing Josephus. You guys hate Josephus. But we do have to do some cuts. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to just look at our financials, because I mean, granted, we got that money, but we're losing a lot, like a significant amount. We are going to be losing a ton of money this month. Sleeping on Pillman hard, says Root Beer. Yeah, Pillman, I think probably very soon will be a champion here. Definitely kind of my project. I don't think he's there yet, but let's go ahead and let's just look at it. I'm going to take a look at creative meeting. I want to look at figureheads, and I want to groom down the roster. If you look at that financial tab, where we're spending a lot of money on the roster, right? Now, some of that is inflated right now because we've got Chris Jericho. I'm not that concerned about that, right? Because he's only here for a little bit, and I think he's money well spent, just for the time being. Give that boost of popularity for the belt, give the boost for the company. All of that end, I think, will be helpful for us. And he's only out for 4 more things, and then we'll go down to it. I think we have to look at, and I was talking to someone on Twitter, and he gave me some good ideas in terms of maybe limiting some of our roster ability. He thinks we should go down to the bare minimum. I don't think I can. I can't do it, because we have currently 40 wrestlers, and our active wrestlers are our active wrestlers are 40. Our minimum number is 20. I agree, Root Beer, and I think that's going to be a hard decision. Now, I'm not going to fire. So what Root Beer just said in the chat was, I don't think Sasha's worth it. I agree. I'm going to strip the belt from her, and I'm going to fire her. I don't think Respect is worth that much money. Especially, we have Tessa, who also has strong performance. Not as popular, but it's about equals, right? And if no one else can be as strong as she is, I don't know if she's worth the money. So that's kind of the impact there. Also, Root Beer says probably fourth cornerstone should be Brian Pillman. I agree. I know. Yes, I am going to fire Sasha. It will happen. I think she's one of the ones that have to go. So I have kind of a list of people that I was thinking about, but I want to run it through you guys. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk to you guys about where we should go and who we should fire. And I think we're going to make some decisions today. Some of these might be down the line. Some of them are just straight, let's just bounce them, right? So anybody that is over 1,000, we have to be suspect on immediately. I think let's try to just get rid of a couple for now and see how we feel about it. And then we can kind of play it by ear. So I'm going to be using you guys in the chat to kind of gauge opinions. So Sasha Banks costs more money than anybody else on the roster. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? Let the frantic votes come in. Starting to see keeps. It's kind of getting mixed. Hey Joe, welcome. We're playing a TEW. We're actually doing some backstage stuff, trying to get some financials in order for the NWA, and it's gonna be a hard thing. So we're gonna do a delay here. We're not gonna fire Sasha Banks right now, but I think we'll use her to get someone else over. I think we'll have her drop the belt to Tessa Blanchard at our next pay-per-view. And I think we can let her go then. My concern is that of the women's division, if we look at the women's division here, she is more expensive than everybody else by a mile. Yeah, and that's kind of my problem is I think that Sasha, like, to me, I love Sasha Banks, and I'm a mark for her, or at least I was. I wouldn't say anymore necessarily. I think they've kind of flanderized her character, and heel Sasha's really the only one that matters. But our other women's division roster can't keep up with her, and her popularity is not going to really do much for us. Not if we're getting stinkers of performances. I can get the same relative performance out of Tessa Blanchard for half the cost, right? Like Sasha's strong brawling, like we have some information, like she's got a lot of performance here, but we know her Tessa's entertainment game strong. She's got strong performance skills, and she's decent in the ring enough to get by for like half the price. So that's kind of where we're at. And then our other women on the division are, about the same area, but for far less. We can grow them, especially for only having one match a night. I don't know if it's worth that money. So we're trying to get down to 40. I think Sasha stays for now, but I think she's not far from the world. For this world, I should say. Paul Pinky George as an authority figure, I haven't done much with. I still have plans for, but we have him on a sweet written contract because I made the save up. And it's really, like, it looks expensive here, but it's really cheap. We pay $1,700 a month, so we can use them as much as we want. We can get rid of them if you want to. We can write them out. I'm not that concerned about them right now. Tamina. I don't think Tamina's available right now. Can I negotiate Sasha's contract for less money? Not likely. We can take a look, but she's on for a year. And I doubt that she will take less, at all. Yeah, she's going to even want $18.90. She wants more than our male competitors. Like, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but in terms of performance and where we have, I don't think it's worth it. Like, she's got a huge amount of popularity, but it's not really drawing for us. So that's kind of the issue. And so then let's go down the list here, right? Scott Steiner. Well, we brought him in for a little bit. I kind of brought him up to be parallel with the NWA. His contract's easy, because his contract is just a sort of whenever you want, right? Special attraction. So we don't pay much for him if we don't want. Scott's a great commentator. Could be a co-authority figure. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, I could get rid of him. I could keep him. Right now, I'm kind of on the fence. So let's keep on going down the list, because at the very least, I can use him to put over people. Mr. Anderson's our only road agent. I think it's kind of expensive for a road agent, to be honest, and we might have to scout for somebody else. It's just an issue of finding somebody that matches his skill for the price. But we are also looking at wrestlers, because we still have 40 wrestlers on the roster. Game says we should have a minimum of 20. We should try to trim it back a little bit. James Storms, I'm pretty negative on. I kind of want to get your opinions on. He's fine. Character-wise, I'm not that interested on him. I think we have other wrestlers on the roster to do things similar, and I think our main event scene is too stacked. We have Brody, Aaron Stevens, Big Cass, Nick Aldis, Eli Drake, James Storm, Scott Steiner, and honestly, Bram could jump up there at any moment with a push. Pillman's definitely going to go up there soon, and maybe even Eddie Kingston. And it makes me feel like James Storm doesn't really have a place for the price. And I'm feeling like I should just get rid of him. I haven't really used them much. Obviously, I don't really care that much about him. I don't know if we're spending enough money. Like, I feel like he's just not worth it. We just get rid of him as dead weight at this point. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of get rid of James Storms. I think you guys are right. He's already irritated anyways. I think it's just dead weight. All right, last second. Anyone else want to hold your pieces before we toss them? All right, he's gone. Won't cost us anything either. And obviously, no one's upset. Like, if people had relationships that mattered, we might have thought differently. But meh, we can toss them. I'm not that concerned, to be honest. All right, yeah, Sasha's too much, man. I think we need to move her out. But yeah, I don't want to waste her. Like, just tossing her. Let's at least get the belt off of her. Maybe have her take some losses to some other people to give them momentum, and then we can let her go in a month or something like that. We don't really need her right now, to be honest. Allison Kay is a good hand, and we could look at who we want for the women's roster in terms of who we think should be pushed. There's some people on the women's roster I think we should get rid of. So we got rid of 1. Let's try to get rid of 5 for sure. Eli Drake, I'm positive on pretty solidly. I like his gimmick. I think he's the right price for what he's doing. It's above average Rumble. It's very strong entertainment value. Popularity is great for the price. Just as an average, he's only a couple points below Sasha, but almost 600 less. I think he's a pretty strong get for us, and I think he has a place. So, and that brings up the problem of the next one. I've not used Aaron Stevens much. I see a world with him here. In fact, I was about to start a storyline with him. And I'll let you guys know, because this is backstage. I don't normally like to let out the storylines, but I'll let you guys know, because you guys showed up. I wanted Aaron Stevens to become a pyramid scheme financer, like the head of a multi-level marketing scam, and try to start to convince people over to join. I thought it'd be kind of a fun throwback to his intellectual period, and just kind of that scummy kind of gimmick that could be a lot of fun, especially if we partnered him up with Paul Pinky George, as his financier. Without question mark, it's true. But I don't know. I could just toss him too. He's worth the same price as Brody, and I'd rather have Brody. Let's look at Aaron, and while we're talking about it, and see how we feel about it. Stats wise, meh. I mean, we have some good scouting here. I don't know. His popularity is lower than Eli Drake by a little bit. Like I said, he does feel kind of the same, right? Yeah, I mean, we could always pick him back up later. But I have to go with my heart here, and I feel like I haven't really used them. And if we're pulling Band-Aids here, if we're talking tough here. If I really wanted to use them, I would have used them already. But have I really used them? How often has he actually wrestled? Barely any. I think we got to toss him. Oh, it's tough. It's tough, but we're going to do it. All right, there was 2. It's hard. So I'm a collector. You guys know I'm a collector. I hear Root Beer in my comments screaming at me about collecting wrestlers. So, this is hard for me so much. All right. Brody Lee. We're keeping. Obviously. That's not a no-brainer. Nick Aldis is not expendable. He's not allowed to be. Big Cass. Let's look at Big Cass. We just grabbed Big Cass. But do we need him? honestly, I wanted to pick him up to get Enzo, but since we can't get Enzo, I'm not really sure if we need him anymore. Great popularity though. And he's not great elsewhere. He's above average for Rumble, above average performance, strong camera. So as a character, he's not bad. Hasn't really had a chance to shine on the roster yet, but I could see having a place. Getting rid of him would give us one, two, three, only three main eventers, with Pillman probably poised to become the fourth. I don't know. That's tough, man. I feel like he needs to go. I'm just not positive yet. So let's skip him for now. We can kind of come back to a consensus later. Marius says, put him over, or put someone else over him. Bring in Cass. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's move down the list. All right. So one of the things that we have are our tag teams. We currently have a couple, Colt and Flip, which are probably going to break up not far from now, anyways. Eddie Kingston and Homicide, The Ascension, Von Erichs, Villain Enterprises, and War Machine. I was thinking of getting rid of someone from here. And honestly, I was thinking War Machine, which sounds weird. We'll have to look at it, but I want to see where we're at in terms of skill, because just because they cost a lot doesn't mean we have to get rid of them, right? We should definitely be targeting who we're paying the most on. But so when I see like PCO, like, yeah, we could get rid of Villain Enterprise. But I think there's a value, and I think like we could always make, like PCO a singles competitor. We can grow Brody King up. Homicide, I think you mean the guy we can send off to Impact's job. Why do you want everyone to job to Ace Austin, Dr. Persona? Yeah, I don't disagree that I think that War Machine maybe got a bad rap in terms of the skill set, but I do feel like we're one tag team too heavy. So I don't think we're going to get rid of PCO, and therefore we're not going to get rid of Brody King. Now, Connor and Victor as the Ascension kind of fill an interesting issue here with Bram. They all kind of work together, but I don't know if we necessarily need all three, but I don't necessarily want to break them up either. And it's kind of an issue because we have a stable with them. Would I like? Let's look at Bram. Let's look at Bram, because Bram I'm not 100% on. What's his stats at? We have some good stats here. Cabana can't leave, Joe, because he's going to become Colt Cabana and become part of the cult. So that just storyline is too good to let up. Could he go? Yeah, probably eventually. I kind of want to keep him around for now, but I think I want to put him. I want to see what I can use as him to kind of put over somebody else, and eventually we can let him go. Bram, though. Bram the Man for $1,000 a show is not incredibly popular. Yeah. All right, so what I'm getting here from the chat right now is I should hire Ace Austin. I think, is what I'm really hearing. I think out of the three, I don't know if we need Bram in the cult. I think Connor and Victor as the tag team front, Josephus as their manager and occasional partner fills the role fine. The problem is if I got rid of him, would the Ascension flip? No, they didn't flip. We got rid of Bram. Bram's gone. I don't think that's as tough as I felt. Like, I feel okay with that because, like you guys are saying, we already got the Ascension. Bram's just sort of a third wheel there. We don't need him. Now, all right, let's keep on going down the list. So we said PCO stays, Pillman stays, Cabana I want to keep. Could we get rid of him eventually? Yeah. Homicide. Here's a question. Do we need Homicide? Our issue is tag teams, right? But do we really want Kingston and Homicide as a tag team? I'm hot on Kingston. I think Kingston's a great get for us. I think he's going to be a good worker and a good bully for the mid-card and upper mid-card. I don't care about Homicide necessarily. Hernandez, I wouldn't mind. Oh, Joe says the opposite. You think Kingston should go and Homicide should stay? It's tough, man. I see though. I'm a mark for Kingston, so that's my problem right now. Let's look at the roster. I think we need to get rid of them. I know we have one less tag team, but I think we could hire a cheaper tag team and be okay. So Kingston's 37, 17-year pro, so he's not going to get better for much. Very strong on microphone and charisma. Brawling's fine. He's not great in the ring. Popularity's 33. Price is $790. Homicide. So that's about a C. So about the same. Microphone work is worse. Charisma's about the same. And weaker popularity. And older. And costs more. Yes, I said cheaper tag team. Because we'll get into it, but check the declining list on Creative Meeting. That's a great point, and we should look at this. What is our time decline? Steiner, PCO, Storm, Jericho, Homicide. It's on the 5th there. Who's not? Well, this is just momentum. So, kind of curious who our potential figureheads are. Not something we've dealt with yet, and we won't for a while, but... Right, and I agree, Root Beer. I'm not looking at necessarily hiring people. I'm looking at just firing and grooming it down. I am concerned that we might not have enough tag teams. But honestly, I have not used Homicide in Kingston a lot. I think we're going to get rid of Homicide. I don't know if we can get Tamatonga and Tongaloa from Japan, but if we needed another tag team, I wouldn't mind just forming it from something else here. But we want to groom down I don't want to get down to 20 wrestlers. I think that's an emaciated roster. I think that's a little unhealthy, and we'll be running into the same people. But I would like to see us get down to 32. So that's kind of what we want. I think we're going to get rid of Homicide. I think we're going to break up Kingston. Unless there's some major morale issue that's going to be a problem here. He's already annoyed because of an incident with Eli Drake. Cabana and Tim Storm. Yeah, I mean, we have Cabana and Flip right now, but Storm, maybe. He's opener, though. We can look at it. I think we got to do it. I don't know. I'll give you guys a second. Get that cursor down. There's a little bit of delay. I think this is a good call. Let's get rid of it. It's a tough call because there's some potential there, but all right. So, well, we know Sasha's going to be not long for this world, so that gives us Steiner as the most expensive main eventer right now, next to Drake, Aldis, Brody Lee, Big Cass, which we're still not. This might be a second wave fire, Big Cass, if we can't get Enzo. That's going to be the hard one. PCO, we're fine with. Cabana is expensive for an upper mid-carder. I could see getting rid of him, but I do have plans for him story-wise. Pillman, we're not going to touch. Connor and Victor, we're not going to touch now. They're kind of expensive for what they are, but I think they work out okay for us. Madison Eagles is very expensive, but I think very talented for what we were looking at. Strong brawling skill, not hugely popular, but can grow. Really great psychology, C pluses everywhere else. Decent on the microphone, strong sex appeal. I think this is a keeper. In fact, I would say this is probably going to be a top heel on our new women's roster. So I don't necessarily see getting rid of her. Let's see. Joe Galley's our announcer. I mean, you know, it is what it is. Flip. So Flip's a new hire. It's kind of expensive. Might be a second round firing if we need to. Gavin, obviously, color commentators worked out well. Eddie Kingston, I think for $7.90 is a-okay with what we got. Marty Scurll, also, I think for the price is pretty good, and not breaking up, you know, the villain enterprises makes sense to me. I could lose them, to be honest, and keep PCO and Brody King instead, and it wouldn't be the end of the world to me. But I don't necessarily see a need to do it, you know. Nicole Matthews, we can look at Nicole real quick. She's not on my list, my short list of people to get rid of necessarily. Very strong entertainment, very strong camera. Nah, this is a winner. Above average rumble, you know, weak high flying, but very strong performances. Everything else is very, very strong. Like that's a really good get. I do want to look at Flip real quick. I see some contention in the chat, and there might be something to look at. We don't have a good scouting level for him right now, but he's a young lion, so he can improve a lot quickly. Decently popular for a lower mid-carder. Average camera, so the star power might not be there. Unfortunately, we don't have a strong scouting here with him. He could be a wild card. You know, he could become a huge deal for us, or not, because of his age. I'm fine with keeping him from now, but like if we need to cut him, I'm fine with cutting him too. It's not the end of the world. He's kind of how I feel like with Marty. Actually, probably a little bit higher on Marty, because I think Marty pride's about a similar value, but for less money right now. Trevor Murdoch. I don't know much about Trevor Murdoch. From what I've seen, I've not been impressed. For $700, I'm not that impressed. Brawling is fine. Basics are fine. Star quality is non-existent. Microphone works kind of sucks. Charisma isn't really there. Not very popular. Kind of expensive. I think we should get rid of Trevor Murdoch. Also have no major plans for him, really. Just toss. I think that's fine. All right. We can always go back. We can always grab more people if we need them. So let's keep on going down the list. All right. So, Hanson, we're talking about War Machine. I want to hear you guys' opinion because I am on the fence with War Machine. I like War Machine. I think they're understated in the mod here, and I could go and tweak them, but I don't feel like I have an intricate and intimate feeling about where they should be rated. I think their ratings for popularity are a little off, but I would buff them. I would be fine with buffing them, Root Beer. Like, honestly, because I think this is wrong to me. See, I'm only familiar really with their work in Japan, which, they had very strong menace levels. And, I don't know if these are, I just don't think these are necessarily statted right. It might just be a popularity issue. I feel like maybe they should be slightly more popular, but I don't know. I could see getting rid of them too. 700 is kind of pricey for a tag team, not immensely. Like, we're not getting to the point where the money is kind of nitty, but we do have to cut the groom. Keep Rowe, fire Hanson. So that was a thought I had as well, actually, because Rowe is, at 600, Hanson's at 700 in cost. Do we need another mid-card heel? Like, I don't... It's actually more popular than Hanson. Yeah, I mean... Eric. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go back. Let's look at it in a second. Something about it, just cutting another. We already broke up one tag team. I don't know. Storm is not leaving because it makes Root Beer mad, so I'm going to keep him forever. And he's a cornerstone, so he's what it is. We can always use him as a personality. We can always use him as we could always use him as an opener to put over people. Honestly, I think there's potential there too. Like, his stats aren't horrendous, honestly. Decent microphone and charisma work. Like, he could be a good manager for somebody. And his stats aren't bad either. He's just not very popular. We move his up in popularity, he would go up instantly. In fact, I'm going to move him to a lower mid carder just so I feel better. All right. Joe says, bring in like the God and replace War Machine. I mean, I would look at it, and we can look at a replacement if we're not doing a cut, right? Because we can always financially replace him if they are worth it, either cheaper with similar stats or something like that. He was champ because that was the thing, man. He started NWA as champ, and we made him champ through some bullshit so that we could take it off. It was fine. We took it off like 2 episodes. It's fine. Icarus, I think, can go. I think Icarus, meh, not worth it for the price. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing even to say about this. I think we can just get rid of Icarus. We had him to fill out a roster a long time ago when we brought him over. I just don't think he's worth it. So, not an issue to me one bit. All right, Rowe. Let's see. Marquez, personality. Caleb Conley. What are your guys' thoughts on Caleb? Kind of curious. 600 mid card. Let's look at his stats. Below average. Strong high flying though. Strong performance. Strong physical. Above average entertainment. Not necessarily a spring chicken. Strong performances, but kind of weak everything else. Like, if we had another high flyer, I kind of want to put him with Gordon, honestly, and see what that looks like. Popularity's not bad. keep him so when we hire Ace Austin, we have someone for him to job out to. Yeah, we could do that. I kind of want to keep him for now because I think he fits. He's never going to move up, but I think he fits a role for a good mid-carder. I think we're just not utilizing him correctly. But I will err on the judgment of the panel of 15 in the chat, and see what you guys think of. But right now, I think he's good where he is, and he's not costing us much. Brody King, I'm not high on, but I don't necessarily want to break up Villain Enterprises. Ricky Starks, I don't care about at all. But, like, have we just not utilized him? His popularity is trash, though his performance and physical are said to be strong, and his entertainment said to be strong. I mean, we need a lower mid card. I could get rid of him, and I wouldn't really fret. What are we at in our roster right now? We're at 34, so we're getting pretty good and down. Tim could be Ricky's mentor. It's not a bad idea. He's a young lion, so for 520, like he's got some potential here, right? He's already got strong camera entertainment. He's only going to get better. The Von Erichs. I like the Von Erichs. I think they're, as a lower card moving up, I think they fit nicely for us. And I'm pretty happy with them. I never thought I would see it, Root Beer. I never thought I'd see it, but you did come up with a justification to keep him around. I don't hate that idea. I mean, I like Ricky Starks on the mic, and I like his personality and his character. But I haven't found a use for him yet. But that doesn't mean that we won't find a use for him. So I know you do. Fire Marshal until he gets some shoes. That's their gimmick. Josephus stays. Josephus has actually been working really well for us lately, and for the price is kind of ridiculous. Marty Bell, I want to get rid of. I have not been impressed with a single thing. I like her, but I'm not seeing anything in terms of ring performance that's helping. And I don't really have a place for a valet or a manager right now. I don't know. Her popularity's not bad, but her performances here are not great, and she's not a young vet. We'll go back to her, because I do like her as a personality. Yeah, Marty's a face for some reason right now. I don't know why. I think we have too many women's division members, so she was kind of on my list, but now I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure. Von Erichs, Kimberly has not been impressing me on the save. Average in-ring performance, strong entertainment and camera work, but hasn't really been doing much for us. We could get rid of her, but she's so cheap, it's hard for me to justify. Just having bodies to fight is good. I do think we need to get rid of someone in there, and if it's not Marty, it might be her. I think we need to get rid of Skylar. I think it's not been helping us much. Vox is an interesting element here too. I want to look at. So let's take a look here. Ashley Vox at one point was going to be our strong pick for the future contender. Still a young lion, 25, has a lot of potential, very cheap, very, very inexpensive. Strong entertainment and camera, so she's good on the mic and just decent in the ring, but not great. We need someone for her to learn from, but I think at 240, I think we're fine. Thunder Rosa, similarly, I think it's a good gimmick. I think we're getting good value for the money. Skylar, I'm not sure about Skylar. Haven't used her that much here. We kind of brought her in, but she's not really been putting on a major performance. And I think we could get rid of her. How many people do we have on the women's division right now? Let's see. So we got a bunch. We got a bunch of women in the women's division right now. Tessa, Thunder, and Sasha would be... Well, Sasha's going to go away. So Tessa, Thunder are probably our main eventers. Both strong heels. So our problem here is who's our face. Right now, Marty is our face. Actually, not getting a bad rating. I mean, average gimmick right now, but could work. Nicole Matthews is a heel and shouldn't really stray away from it. Also, again, very strong skill set. Ashley's heel, we can make her face. Everybody's heel. We just do nothing but heel. we need a face. I mean, we can move Tessa face, but yeah, I mean, that is the issue, too. When Roman says Marty's weak in the ring and isn't a young lion, so she's not going to improve. She's kind of a hindrance, and I think that's the issue. And if we just needed a character, she'd be great. But I don't know if we need her. I think we get rid of her. What do you guys think? Final decision. Do we get rid of Marty? Looking for a show of hands. I am seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 to 2 so far. Ooh. 4 to 3. There's not enough room for 2 Martys. I'm seeing some contention. So my issue here is she's weak in the ring. Do we really have room for that right now? I don't know if we do. Oh, we have Skylar as a face, but meh. What's her popularity? Is like nothing, right? So we have no popular face. Marty would be a popular face, but she's... Yeah, I'm seeing more. I think the yeses are starting to come out here. Well, we do have Kimberly as a strong babyface. She's not really doing what I would want from her. Could you use her as a manager or anyone on the roster? I mean, potentially we could use a valet. I'm open to suggestions, but I don't know if we need anybody. I don't know if anybody is out there that we really need a valet for. Like Nick Aldis, but as a heel, not really. Like it's tough because normally you want someone that has weak microphone or something else. And that's a good point from Melina. Pillman with Marty. That's not a bad idea. Because Pillman's camera works in entertainment's like, right? Pillman might not be bad. I don't hate it. She's so inexpensive. Like moving her into a different role, would she accept that? Would she accept? Like normally her roles are wrestler, so we might not be able to. See how she feels about it. She's not happy with it. She's not happy with it. Let's see what we can negotiate as so what would she want? She's looking at like 600 a show now. I mean, we could keep her. We could just hold on for now. I just that weak ability is really concerning me. Out of everybody else, I think she's the one that's the problem in terms of that division. Allison Kay. Yeah, it's true. We could assign her as a manager. Let's give her a shot. Let's give her an opportunity. We'll keep her as a face, and we'll assign her as a manager. And she could just be a jobber. Yeah, that's true. And we're saying maybe Pillman having a manager. We could try it out and see how it works. Maybe putting her in as a match occasionally just to shake it up and add some diversity to the roster in terms of who the women are fighting every once in a while. Allison Kay is fine. I think it has a fine place. So then it looks like for our women's division, it's Thunder and Tessa as top heels. Kimberly is top face. Nobody else is a face? And Skylar. Skylar is baby. So Skylar is up-and-comer face. Kimberly is top baby face. In a league of heels, it's kind of rough, but... Root Beer Fantasy Booking saying the Villain Enterprise should take her out for having too many Martys. It's not a bad idea. So what are we at now? We're at 34. Going to be 33 once Sasha's gone. Said we kind of wanted 32 to be comfortable. So we could make one more cut. Well, we could go further, but I don't see where else to cut. So I think it comes back to Big Cass. Is Big Cass worth keeping? Popular. Not the most expensive of the main eventers by a mile. I'll give it a second. I'm putting on chopping block. Did we get rid of Cass? Yay or nay? Not worth it without Enzo. Enzo's a mistake in the first place. I'm an Enzo mark. I will freely admit, because I actually think the gimmick and the character is fantastic. Devoiding like of the actual person, and him being kind of a scumbag. Yeah. Let's get rid of Cass though. All right. That brings us down to 33 with Sasha leaving soon. I feel pretty good about that. Do you guys think we should try to cut more? Nah, too late, Melina. Sorry. Enzo killed the locker room. He did. But I decided just to cut it because if I don't cut, I run the risk of keeping. And we need to start making that money. So that's the concern. Do we need Anderson? We don't need Anderson. We could find... So this is the next phase, is do we replace people with cheaper road agents? Who else do I think I could cut? I don't want to cut the Ascension, Joe. To be honest, I feel like we need somebody in the tag team, and I think teaming with Josephus as a manager works really well. I don't know who else we could cut at this point, unless we got really dramatic. But what's our push look like? Aldis at main eventer, Eli main eventer, Steiner as occasional, Bree Lee as probably top guy, Scroll at top of on the upper mid card probably, Kingston probably following behind him, PCO probably mostly tag team, Connor Victor mostly tag team. Cabana, we could get rid of Cabana. I don't really want to, though. Could cut Royce. Yeah, so, I mean, I kind of want to look at our road agents before we call it. Steiner could be reclined and sent out. Not really doing much with him. But I'd rather job him out to someone. Like, I feel like having Pillman beat Steiner, even in like a screw job fashion, might really push him. If we like had Pillman dominate, push Steiner out, completely sandbag him, it might do really good. We are not getting rid of Tim Storm. We need more face main eventers. I agree. So Pillman, I want up to main event. Is kind of where I want there. We have a heel problem in the upper mid card too. I don't know. So I mean, our mid card, we have no faces whatsoever. Our lower has a couple. Flip probably will move up to mid card. I think we're gonna keep Steiner for now, but let's look at our road agents. What road agents are available that are similar? Oh, that's way too many. Okay, first let's look at what Anderson's actually bringing to the table here. So the main road agent skill, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, is psychology, and then respect, as well as other stats, obviously. And I I will gladly be corrected, but I think it's like reputation, maybe. But it's usually, I think, psychology is the main factor in a road agent. So like a C minus. We're not, middle of the pack here. Basics in psychology is what Roman says. I think you might be right. I always forget what the other is. So basics are B, psychology C minus. So we would need someone similar. Let's take a look at what's out there to grab. Can work in US. For good basics, good psychology. So, strong 100% basics, strong psychology. And what's your price? Too much. Allison Danger, $1,300. A little bit cheaper. That's a lot better. Also, a road agent for pay per appearance. Arn Anderson, also better. Way too expensive. Delirious. Ugh. I don't know about that. Terms of psychology, not as good. Well, actually, a little bit better. Doug Williams, probably too much. Actually, not even as good. Gail Kim. Still too much for what she is. Conan. Now, Conan would be interesting because we could also make him a personality. Strong basics, decent psychology, like a still upgrade. Way too. Whoa. That's a crazy. Nick Dinsmore is unemployed, which is a great get for us here. What is his skills at here? Psychology's a little lackluster. Basics are great though. I think Allison's a better get. For the price that we're getting a 10 times the better person. Mr. Venus. Psychology's kind of weak. Boy Gonzalez. So looking at some people, just starting to skip through, but again, way too much expensive. I think it's Allison Danger. My only concern is when does Shimmer run their shows? Because that could be our problem of running into a situation where we don't have a road agent. Kind of related to Nick Dinsmore. That's awesome. I don't really have really any major wrestling related relatives, though. I do have my family. I'm kind of from my partner's family is her brother is married to a family that's friends with Bill Apter. So I kind of see him every once in a while on holidays and stuff like that. But other than that, not really a direct relationship or relatives or anything like that. It's always fun to shoot the shit with him though and talk to him about wrestling every once in a while. So it's always a fun 4th of July every once in a while, or some other kind of get-togethers that we have. But so we were looking for Shimmer. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about the scheduling because. All right, let's look at Shimmer here. Product schedule. Saturdays. Do we have tapings? They have touring schedules, which are the problem. Right? Because they're a touring company. So the Saturday is not a big deal, incredibly, because, you know, we can always reschedule a pay-per-view to like a Sunday or something like that. Actually, we're doing Sundays anyways. Not the end of the world. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I feel like Allison. Is there anybody else on our roster that could sub as a good road agent? Cut to Rock and Roll Express. You know, I don't really consider them part of my cornerstone. So the cornerstones of the NWA to me were not the Rock and Roll Express. I felt like they were kind of slapped in there. So, but yeah, we can always. Do you want me to bring back the Rock and Roll? We can hire the Rock and Roll Express if it'll make you feel better. Yeah, Chris won't be good. What's It's basics. So interesting thing here. Tim Storm's basics in psychology aren't horrendous. Like, if we needed him to sub as a road agent, that wouldn't be the end of the world. His basics are worse. I mean, obviously you get more bonuses for having someone currently on. You want me to hire the Rock and Roll Express? So we could, like, would he be a road agent? Would he dig that at all? Or would he just be really pissed off? Yeah. He's not thrilled with it. Old useless bastard. I will give them the fucking belts. I will. I'll make the Rock and Roll Express champions again if you want. Or we could throw that in there. I think Allison might be the better get. Even with the issues with potential conflicts when there are tours. But let's see what we can get her for. Because we might even be able to get her a little bit lower for a bit. Which would be very cool. 3 years, never involved ring work. Pretty much exclusively be a road agent. See what we can get. Yo, Tim Storm's gimmick is legendary because he's a legend in the NWA. 12:30. So, is there, like, I could give you a hiring veto. Still 12:30. So 12:30. So that changes things a little bit. She is a little bit better than Anderson. Actually, not by a little bit. She is better. But we know he's nowhere else. She doesn't need to be available for all shows. That's true. We could see what that does if we just say A and events, right? See what we can get her down to. Let's see. That's better. That's a good call out. Thank you. I always forget because we only have one show anyway, so that's, and one event, so that works good. I'm still concerned about the loan or the touring, but we might be okay. What was she at? 120 or okay, 1120. I don't think that's bad. All right, there we go. We'll throw the contract in there. I think we get rid of Anderson. I think overall the basics are okay. Psychology isn't necessarily there. Big save on money. All right. So we have 33 active roster members, 32 soon. It gets us basically, that's fine, Roman. She'll be in 6 days anyways, so we'll get her in a couple days, and we'll be fine. Because unless she bounces out, but I'm not that concerned. I am rash when it comes to that. So that should cut down our money by a bit. Current wage bill is now $24,000. That's a huge dip from where we were. I try to remember where exactly we were, but I feel like that is a lot lower. So I think that's going to save us some money, pretty significantly. It would happen, but it's fine. We can go with it. If she bounces out, it's not the end of the world. We could always sub somebody else that one day. Tim Storm could easily become road agent for a day, and we'll live. I mean, he's C+ basics, C+ psychology. Was I roughly 32 to 36? So what were we looking at? We looked at that 24. That's a pretty sizable chunk difference. All right. Dr. Persona says we have to come to an agreement. What agreement is that, sir? What do we have to agree upon? That we should rehire the Rock and Roll Express? We could. If you guys really want us to re-sign the Rock and Roll Express, we can do it. I'm not opposed to it, but if I remember correctly, the reason why we got rid of them was that they were really expensive and they weren't very good. But let's take a look. All right. Look at Ricky Martin. I know, it's not Ricky Martin. See, they don't even have a pitcher. Why you guys want me to give a pitcher? He's just unemployed. He's got no picture. Let's see. 26, only 26 popularity. 900 a show for these crustaceans. You've complained about the old fart club with Tim Storm. You want me to hire these fossils with poor in-ring work, no psychology. How's Robert Gibson? Still no picture either. Shoulder's more popular. Yeah, but Tim Storm is a better wrestler. We could put Tim Storm on both of these guys, and he would come out with a higher skill level. I think the match rating would be higher on his for performance. God, it's just not. Do they not have pitchers? They don't have pitchers. If you guys really want me to hire them, I will hire them. But I don't really think it's worth 900. When you guys job out Ace Austin, well, what's Ace Austin doing right now? She's young lion, 900 show, 29 popularity. It's pretty good. Could always hire him. Become the retirement crew. We would call them the root beer. We call them the early birds. And they'd just be going through, and they would call themselves main eventers, but they have to get home. Because they had to get home before Jeopardy's on, so they had to leave early, so they always open the show. He's in Impact. He's in everywhere. CZW, AAW. God. Jeez. So to be selfish, yeah. He's known to have trouble with the law. I mean, I love bad locker room problems. But yeah, that's not going to get us anywhere, I don't think. So teams are an issue now. Not incredibly. We got Colt and Flip. We got the Ascension. We got the Von Erichs. We got Villain Enterprises. We got War Machine. Do we have any other teams we want to make? Do we want to make anybody on the roster tag partners? We were thinking maybe like a Ricky Starks, Tim Storm. That manager role might not be bad. What you got, Persona? Let's see what Ricky Starks is at here. It could be an interesting dynamic between the two of them. Royce Isaacs somehow avoided our demolishment. I don't know how we got rid of. Conley and Starks. Well, Conley's a heel. Starks is a face. He's a very strong heel, though. We have a lot of heels, though. Yeah, Royce and Conley. Could work. Conley's high flying is strong. And Royce is strong everywhere. Like I think he'll eventually. Is the Royce Conley Starks alliance just there to feed Ace Austin? Is that the plan? I think we need more faces. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of her. We are gonna get rid of Sasha. It's just that it's gonna be. We have to. Well, one, she still has the belt, so she's got to drop it to Tessa, and then we'll have her job out to somebody else too. We'll maybe either Skylar to really give a big boost, or we'll let her get jobbed out to our other face, Kimberly, and push there. Yeah, I am concerned about our lack of faces right now. Royce Isaacs is a heel, not as strong. One less heel there. I mean, we could turn Nick Aldis back to a face. That would be a bad move, but give her to the Colt. Oh no. We do need more faces. But I think we could just turn people. That would be okay, right? Like I think Brody Lee, we could turn face. I think he's not great as a face, but we could. I mean, we have him set for turning. It's not really working. Well, let's cancel it for now. We could probably look at him. Having a hard time finding faces. I mean, Flip's going to be a strong face, and we can keep him as face. Man, we really don't have anybody that could be a really strong face. Especially on the lower card. Like, we got Ricky Starks, who's better at being a heel. Man. We might have to hire somebody that could be a good mid-range. What's the hiring recommendation? We really don't have any. Like, how many faces do we actually have? 2 in the women's division. Pillman, Cabana, Ross, and the Von Erichs, Ricky Starks, Tim Storm, Marty Bell in the women's division. Flip. That's it. Ugh. Yeah, faces and heels, it's tough work to balance, but I mean, that's the job, right? Donovan. Who we looking for? Teddy Hart as a face? Well, I mean, I don't think we're going to get go back, but where are we at? Dr. Cube the Third is available, guys, if you want. You can always grab Dr. Cube. I don't know. He might not be in the save file. Might be under somebody else. But like, do we want to pick up one person that's a good face character? Just to round it off? Like, I'm feeling a little James Ellsworth. Yeah, that's what we should get. Dr. Cube. I'm telling you. Dr. Cube would do it. If we could get Dr. Cube, we could get Shark Saber Jr. It'd be great. Can we search for faces for I don't think we can. In terms of skill, I'm looking for good baby face performance to hire a wrestler who is at most regional star. Also based in here. Teddy Hart. I was at AEW in you know who we should grab? Perfect face. Why didn't I think about it? We could hire New Jack. He's unemployed. It's be fine. It's like $700 a show. What do you guys think? He's got a good baby face. Yeah, it's bad. I'm actually thinking about it right now. It's not that expensive. It'd be interesting. All right, a vote. Do we hire a new Jack? The wall troubles aren't that much of an issue, but I'm kind of contemplating about New Jack right now. What would we do? What would we do? Known to have used soft drugs. That's all? This is all? I mean, I never said no to Danhausen. I don't know. Let's negotiate. Let's just play around and just see how it feels. This is just, let's say, all shows, events, TV. Let's say you would never be lower than mid-card. What would you take? He'd only cost $560. Brian Cage isn't. Brian Cage would be a good get. I never looked at Danhausen really. We could look at him. All right, guys, I want to vote. $560. Is that too much for New Jack? We could always run him in for a little bit. Jack versus Steiner. Jack versus Brian Pillman. Maybe get some crazy hardcore stuff going on in the NWA. Great character, great mic work. Put him up with Ricky Starks. and build something up there. It's too less. Let's. I made an offer to New Jack. Danhausen. I don't think Danhausen's in the game. Is the issue. Get Danger Hawk for you. Brian Cage is what we were talking about. Brian Cage is at Impact and Crash already. 47 popularity, costing $1,400. New Jack murders Sasha and becomes new women's champion. I would book that. Brian Cage, I feel like is too much money, but I'm gonna add him to a short list because I love Brian Cage, and he's good at everything, so he would be worth it if we wanted it. It could be a babyface or a heel. I've never really seen him be a babyface personally, but Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy has to be at AEW, written as an opener. We're never going to get him. I'll shortlist him, though. Who else are we looking for? If you import from the Who's, yeah, I could probably pull Danhausen from there. Let's look at Jake real quick. Jake Parnell. I've never heard of this guy. Young Lions, exactly what we're looking for. Strong babyface, very strong heel, so we could bring him in as named Little Viking. I might have the Viking Ward Party. This guy? I've never heard of this guy. Not familiar with his work. His popularity's pretty much trash in our area. But he's incredibly cheap. Warhorse. Should I know Warhorse? I don't know Warhorse. You guys tell me I should look up Warhorse? Let me know if I should pick up Warhorse. I know we were talked about firing everybody. Now we're talking about hiring. But if it makes sense and it works for us, I'm not opposed to it. This guy's got a cool look. Yeah, I really don't know him. Sorry. How dare. Should we hire him? I will definitely look up stuff, but he's at a right price point. I mean, we can get him probably for cheap. Like dirt cheap. Young Lion could be really something for us. I mean, Warhorse is a damn good name. I'll give that. Let's see what we... Downside is too low. Well... 270, huh? Ah... The Warhausen. That's funny. 270. 250. Yeah, I know. I got rid of all shows. I keep on doing that, and I forget that that's causing us a price difference. Not huge. 250 is not bad. We could try him out. See how it fits. See what he can pull off. I don't hate it. Yeah, let's look at Brian Cage. Okay, but here's the thing. Root beer. If I look at Brian Cage, we got to cut people. And it can't be Tim Storm. And we have to look at... Because that's going to be pretty pricey, I think. I think we could probably get him down to like 1,000, maybe. Say he's never lower main eventer. Not covered. I probably would have to give him a hiring veto and creative control. Would probably be what we could get. Let's see. 1050. Seems to be about the ballpark here. He would take it. He would take 1050. I would rather have Brian Cage than a Scott Steiner. By a mile. Now, I don't know if we necessarily have to kill. We don't necessarily have to get rid of Scott Steiner right now. I'm not saying that. But I think I would much rather have a Brian Cage than a Scott Steiner. I mean, that's true. Like, you're right that was not the amount of people; it was the high price contract. So, adding a couple smaller ones in, Impact's on the same day. Shit. Right. Yeah, what happens is I let New Jack wrestle him, and then he figures it out. So, Impact is on Tuesday. Fuck. I do not know current IWTV television champion Warhorse. I'm sorry. I more than welcome if you go on my Twitter and follow me. I will gladly watch anything you send of me to me about Warhorse. I more than welcome watching it. Unfortunately, my independent scene is limited, and it's mostly limited to the tri-state area, Philadelphia, Eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey. I don't know much about other areas. I would love to learn more, though. So, more than welcome to show it to me. Okay. Impact's every Tuesday. Impact, we would not be able to get. I'll look up Teddy Hart. I don't think we would be able to get Brian Cage to actually be on our show. We would pay him to sit at home. I don't know if I'm willing for that. Teddy Hart, another heel. Strong popularity in the area. I mean, 1,000 a show. What gimmick would we give him? We don't have any other Japanese juniors in our role here. Submissions, mat wrestling, strong basics. Kind of crappy psychology. He's old though. Dan the Dad. I've never heard of Dan the Dad. I'm clearly very very behind on my independent scene. Unfortunately. So we could get Teddy. I don't know if he would. He's got a popularity though. His popularity is not bad. I will look up Dan the Dad. Don't worry. Let me see. I'm gonna look him up right now and see if I remember, if I know this guy at all. No, I definitely don't know this guy. That's a great gimmick though. Holy crap. I love it. All right. Stardom. 1,000. It is pricey. Decently popular. I mean, for our area, it's not horrendous. I'll shortlist her. Concerned about the amount of other places she's in, though. Might be an issue with us. Teddy Hart's gimmick would be a guy who likes cats and wrestles, so he'd just be Natty Nate Hart. Just, or Tyson. We just bring him back. I do live under a rock. You'd be shocked. Like I said, you guys, that's your guys' job is to feed me this information. I have so few Twitter followers, and it's up to you guys to go to my Twitter, follow me, send me stuff. Only people I see on there is Root Beer, who constantly harasses me, tells me I'm bad and I should hate myself. And it fills me joy. But honestly, I need more of you to come in and tell me I'm bad and that I don't know what I'm doing, because that's really the only way I'll be able to learn. No, the K-Bird. Where is this company that you're reading stuff from? Okay. Engage upper mid Carter, 700 show. It's not bad actually. Strong Rumble. Weak everything else. Feel like he's underranked here. But I don't know. It seems so. That's a good point. Mayu might be able to get Io Shirai in, which is strong. Yeah, this, like, I feel like he is rated a little bit under. Like, a weak entertainment camera. Yeah, that's New Jack 2.0. This is Philly shitty Joey Ryan or Joey Janela instead of regular Joey Janela. Yeah, I don't know about. I mean, I like my random trash CZW wrestlers, but I don't know if he would fit. I'm kind of bummed now about Brian Cage that we could get him down so low, and get something so unfortunately useless at the same time, because we wouldn't even be able to use him once. For good in-ring workers, let's just see what's out there. Who is available? I think at this point Will Ospreay has a contract with New Japan. We could try to bring him back, but I don't think we're going to get him. Get Petey Williams. DJ Perkins. For another high flyer. Too much, though. I'm not paying that much for him. I'm trying to stay also away from people that are all over the place here. Yeah, let's take a look before we... I don't want to switch days for Power, though. Before we go, I think we're done with buying people. But let us take a look at the hidden gems and take a look at some of them. Tim Donst. Tommy Mercer. Timmy Lou Reeton. Timmy Lou Reeton has average everything. young lion. Another strong heel, but average babyface. A little bit of popularity in our region. $290 a show. And starts out with 19 popularity in our region. What do you guys think? I mean, we can certainly shortlist him for now. The fact that he's unemployed is nice. Into the new Shayna. It's not a bad idea, right? I don't. Yeah, let's look at $600 a show. We could bring the Danger Hawk in too, because if we wanted to. Strong performance, average in ring, strong physical. I mean, doesn't look bad. Strong babyface. Young, 6-year pro, young lion, so we have some time to develop. I don't hate this. The price is a little bit higher, but we could probably get him down with a with an argument. I don't hate this. I think it's good. Yeah, let's go with it. But I want the contract down. I want the contract down a lot. I want to see what we can get down to. Let's go real crazy. I'm going to say I'm going to give you a hiring veto. Have you heard of blank? No, I think you're just making up wrestlers' persona. I don't heard of any of these guys. Should we make him a blue chip prospect? Have him start to develop up? Yeah, I've fallen off at Chikara probably about 2 years ago, and I haven't really jumped in a while. I know a few guys still there. Like I know Whisper. I know the Hawks, but for the most part, I've kind of fallen off of it for a while, and I haven't jumped back in. Probably the last time I seriously followed them, I was there at Drew Gulak's last match and Heidi Lovelace's last match, and that's probably kind of where I fell off shortly after that point. When these guys got popular, I coincidentally stopped watching. That's kind of how it is for me. Yeah. That tends to be how it goes, unfortunately. It's I watched it before it was cool. No, it's something that fell off for me, and I just kind of there's only so much time, unfortunately, and Chikara kind of fell out of place. Every once in a while, I'll try to make it back to a show. I was supposed to go a little bit ago, but then everything in the world happened. So, do we want to put him as a blue chip to try to lower the price? What do you guys think? I know the name RJ City, but I'm not familiar really with any of their work or his work. Willing to work so much less than I'm worth. Ugh. Fine. Come on. Downside's too low. Here. Ugh, you're so needy. $490. $490. I gave you a hiring veto? Hey man, you gotta do you, Persona. Sorry, I just don't watch everything, man. Like I said, you be the thing to provide me with the knowledge, like show me what you want to see. Yeah. I am more than welcome to watch wrestling. Show me good wrestling. I love good wrestling. There's too much time. Can't watch everything at once, unfortunately. Love to. My girlfriend would murder me if she would feed me to micro pigs if I watched the amount of wrestling that I kind of would want. Give them creative control. That's risky. He did it. Who's David Arquette? I'm just fucking with you. Like I said, I know some people. Like I know Danhausen. I've not really seen his stuff. I know some people. What happened with the lead WWE? Bad things would happen. Like I know, like who's in Chikara right now? Let me just look here. Since we're just hanging out now, we're just gonna go and look at the roster. I can tell you who I know right now. Blank. What's Blank's real name? Because I don't know what he is. It might be just easier just to look up Chikara. I'm looking for. All right. We were talking about Blank. What's Blank at? 500. Kind of pricey for what he is, for the lack of popularity. I don't know if he's actually a good get for us. I'm not sure if I'm down here. But Twitter, it's Durger time. It actually should be on my YouTube page. You can click right on it and jump right on there. It's a good gimmick. I'm going to look up Blank. I'm going to sit on Blank, but I'm going to shortlist him. I'm going to look at some stuff on him because I'm not really familiar. So I am fine with taking a look and seeing. Why is Alicia Fox in... What the hell? So like people in Chikara that I know. I mean, there's a lot of people I still know. Like I don't know Ursa Minor or Troll because it's a new class. Obviously, I know Travis. The Whisper I know. Proletariat Boar I know. The Hawks I know. These guys I don't know. This is a cool mask. There's definitely some people I know, but Cobalt, Lucas Calhorn, Mark. You know, I know a lot of these guys. There's just a lot of people that are still there. Hype Rockwell, I don't know. Obviously, this guy from Wrestling is Fun. Cornelius, like there are people I know. I just haven't. Again, it's been a while, so I kind of fell out for a while. So. Spam you with a bunch of people. Please do. Yeah. Change your name dastardly. Maybe. I don't know if we're gonna get rid of her anytime soon. Or at least we're not gonna get rid of her face turn, I should say. Not get rid of her. I think we need someone as a face. Yeah, you're more than welcome to spam the crap out of my Twitter. I'm fine with that. I think we're good on hiring. We do want to get rid of Scott Steiner at some point. I'm really bummed about Brian Cage because it would have been a good get, but we'll keep a look at him. But you know, we can see what we can do with it. I think we're in a good spot here. I think we accomplished what we needed to do. So when we're cut that down by a bunch. Yeah, we got Warhorse. Or at least we have the contract in for him. We'll bring New Jack in. And we'll bring Yuta in as a face. And I think those are pretty good, inexpensive hires. All right, it is hella late. Let me know, guys, if you are interested in doing more of these kind of weird hangouts, backstages. I don't like booking doing this way, but I have a lot of fun doing the behind the scenes stuff with you guys and just kind of shooting the shit for an hour or two. So, but I gotta go to bed. It is hella late. I will see you guys all. Make sure to let me know what your hot takes on WrestleMania is tomorrow. I might give you my hot takes in a separate video this week. But other than that, I'm gonna go to bed, go to sleep for a little bit. Thanks guys for joining me. I'll see you guys around.